Welcome, I'm Georgie Frost. Today we're going to be finding out a bit more about the wealth management platform exigo. Combining quality and the strictest regulatory compliance with speed, exigo helps banks, financial service providers and wealth managers to digitize their service offerings. The focus on the end customer enables exigo to create unique, innovative and profitable wealth management services for their clients. We'll talk more about this. I'm delighted to say I'm joined by CEO of exigo, Arnaud Picut. Welcome to you, Arnaud. If you would, just talk to me about the journey of exigo, what inspired its founding and how you've evolved as a company since then.
Thank you, and thank you for having me today. Yes, if we restarted a bit like 24 years ago, that's where exigo was created. So really, that was an anniversary that we celebrate a couple of months ago. So it's really starting in the behavioral economic. That's where everything started from the university. It was created by a professor in that domain, and a couple of very bright students embraced this main story, which was basically combining everything around psychology and economics and what's the impact of how the people could behave. That's the way it's starting. And then they obviously starting building toolings and models to understand the impact on economics, on different factors into behaviors, moving forward to how those impact of the economy behavior can actually change the way you can manage wealth. So that was really the long time ago, the history. And then step by step, rather than repeating, they start building and building more and more tooling and models to create at the end a platform. And that's where really the starting point of the wealth. It was really about not wealth management, but managing wealth, which is by definition a little bit slightly different, because most of the day when you think about wealth management is more about for very rich people. And actually it's not necessarily true. More and more the trend is to manage the wealth, regardless if you earn $1 million per month or 100 euro, is how do you manage whatever wealth you may have. And the models you may have, the economics where you are living actually impact what you have to do. So that was basically the source of exigo. And everything was developed in a region in Germany, in Aachen, or also Aix-la-Chapelle, if you are a little bit more French history oriented. And yes, that was the beginning. University then moved to fintech, get a bit of funding, and then step by step get more reward. A lot of big customer, like in Germany, like Commerzbank, BNP Paribas, and Vontobel in Switzerland, and step by step they start making their name out of this industry. And then they wanted to scale more, and then they hired more and more senior person to make it a little bit more scalable and spread a little bit more the knowledge into other country and other type of institutions. So that's basically what's the story.
So that is your story. I suppose that's the practicalities of it. But what about the values, your core values? Talk to me about what they are, perhaps how they've developed and how these influence the culture and practice at exigo.
So this is a very good question. Before I joined, so I asked to talk and to speak with a couple of customers, and why did you pick exigo? What's the reason? What's the value? What did you find? And I remember really very well, like one of the things they said was obviously the people and the knowledge, and someone make a parallel between the watch industry and the wealth tech industry. And he said, exigo, it was like Philippe Patek. We feel, the customers said, telling me, we feel special in that industry. And we wanted something special that really represent the DNA. Therefore, we were not necessarily looking for a fully 100% what you see is what you get like a standard, but we wanted something that understand us, understand what we are looking for, and actually helping us to shaping, moving from a DNA vision to actually an actual product. And they found in exigo, and the company has never been very big, but they found in exigo people that understand the DNA of a customer and transform that into a new customer experience, of course, supported by technology. And exigo has always been that. And when I ask, why did you pick exigo? The people were coming before the product. Oh, your people understand us. And yes, I could see in a couple of weeks a journey that exactly represent our DNA and our story and what the way we would like to be perceived by our customer. And that was exigo. Most of the time, the people before the product. So that's, I would say, what has been our DNA, which is the understanding. So this is sort of a Philippe Patek, and if you know a little bit the watch industry, the Philippe Patek is designing watch based on the next customer, and they interview this customer and try to capture from this customer, what does he like? What does he like? What does he things represent for him? Form, shape, sounds, color, and then transform a watch that capture everything. But then exigo was the same story. Capture everything and represent that into a platform. That was exigo main value.
Now, Arnaud, every company, of course, faces challenges along their journey. So what are some of the more significant ones that you have faced? And I guess, how did you overcome them? And what lessons can you share with us and can we take from that?
That's in fact, if you now turn what I just said about this sort of individualization, make it special, the challenge aspect is scalability. How do you scale this kind of skills outside of your market, outside of your German-speaking area? Then that's become the real challenge, because all the time we had to find new customer where wealth management or managing wealth is the main core business, where they really wanted to reinvent. So basically, we had to find special customer where the individualizations or the wealth was something special for them. So that's obviously not in every corner, in every street. It's harder to find because it's always mean a lot of investment. And if an organization wants to deliver some wealth services with a pretty plain vanilla services, then it was much harder for us to get. If someone wants, okay, what you see is what you get, something cost effective, it's not my core business, but I need something to run, then for us, we were a little bit lost because we were coming with our Philippe Patek mindset. And then say, yes, look, it's, and I remember some of the project I have seen some of the business leader of the private bank said, look, this is amazing, but we just can't afford it. This is unbelievable, but can you make it cost effective and relatively cheap? And then that's become actually not. And was becoming our main problem. How could we keep our DNA, our main signature, like a chef in a kitchen, you have always his main signature. So not lose where we have been famous for, but in the same time, being able to address other market, like in the watch industry, I don't know, the Mont Blanc market. It's a very interesting one, but it's much more scalable. So how could we do that? And our main challenge was to transform without losing that maker special, but make it more affordable, sort of democratizing the wealth to other segment where wealth management is not necessarily the primary goal, where budget is more limited and where they just want either to tick the box or replace an old system, but not more. So that's our big challenge. And we still are facing it, but that's what we are gradually transforming. So that's a very honest answer. That's where we are facing a challenge.
When we talk about digital and tech, particularly AI, it seems strange, but people are often overlooked, but they are, of course, absolutely key to this. So what are some of the skills that you look for in your future employees? How do you foster the development of those skills?
So this is exactly, at the end, is always about people's story. Whatever you do, whatever company, especially when you are a mid-size, small or mid-size, it's all about the people. And what you realize, if you want to transform, is extremely hard to do with employee that has been working here for 2 decades. And if I say that, there's nothing negative. It just means when I arrived in exigo was really most of the employees, first of all, they are all PhD minimum. So there are a lot of brilliant people coming from, most of them, so got diploma in the city of Aachen, in the same university. Then they most of the time, their families coming from the same city. They married a husband or wife from the same city. They went to the university, crossed the street, then went to exigo straight. So most of the core of exigo is passionate people where exigo has been everything for them. But when you want to transform and inject something new with a new thinking API, and you mentioned open API, AI, and so on, you need new blood. So one of the things we have done is trying to understand how to enhance and bring new blood into the organization that match with what we have. There is no way we wanted to lose our extremely loyal and incredible people, but we wanted to add new asset, and the people is our main asset. That we really work with a fantastic chemistry. So what we have done is exactly adding one non-German speaker, nothing against the German, but I was probably the only foreigner and the only one who could not speak German, and actually never made the effort of speaking German, because otherwise we will never move to somewhere else. We have to. So, and then we start adding, again, nothing against the German, but people that coming from a different background, and most of the time different country. So that's the first things we have done, but always selecting carefully who we want to add. So we have gradually changed the culture by adding new human capital asset around our core. So that's the way we have done it. And so far it has worked well. So far it has been very well received. And you have to understand, when you have been working and seeing foreigners coming, oh, who are those people? They don't speak the same language, really, etc., etc. So this is what we have done, adding new asset, new, obviously younger generation that understand, that can bring us straight away something new, because they knew it, like AI, for example. If you have never been working with it, it's not like you just get it like that. So that's what we have done. So far it's working well, and we continue to do that. I would like to add one more thing. Is a little bit like, starting last year, we also use more and more extremely experienced external consultants. So if you look at an organization which is different line of competencies, line of our department, and in every department we're trying to inject for a certain period of time someone extremely experienced, someone who was CEO or CEO or head of something, or someone who has an extremely high position, to come to us and bring us something new. So on top of hiring our own employee, we also inject in every line of the organizations new external consultant to bring us something new. Someone coming from outside, someone who has no political agenda, someone who has no ambition in the organization except helping us. And this all together, between the new employee, the core family that we have, and the external, I think that really give us something new. And hopefully we are going to see soon some new result to the market. But that's the way we fix our challenge, which always start by the people.
Arnaud, we are in a rapidly changing technological environment, also continued uncertainty in the economic environment. But I'm going to ask you what you think are some of the significant trends that you anticipate in the future, and how exigo is prepared and indeed positioned to benefit from these changes.
So obviously, if I don't mention AI, that's, in one hand it's something probably you are expecting. In the other hand, if you don't mention, that's probably a mistake. So obviously this newer technology, I think it's pretty clear that is going to change and make I don't know if it's evolution or revolution, but really dramatically changed the story, or not dramatically, it looks like negative, or significantly, the industry, including obviously the wealth management. So now the way we took it is, in the wealth management at the moment, you can see a lot of marketing buzz around AI. Oh, we have got an MVP here, we have got a test here and there. But in reality, most of the use case in the wealth management, I'm talking about the wealth management specifically, those are use cases leveraging AI, which honestly, you could have done it before. So it's not like a huge revolution. So at the moment. So the way we took it at Exigo is a two-step approach. One is, number one, you cannot really understand and expect delivering something new to your customer if already inside you don't consume it. So we launched a project last year where every department from sales, finance, marketing, development, service, managed service, maintenance, everybody should have a project leveraging AI just to make sure that we are socializing and we are getting very used to on our daily life, we consume AI to improve our capability to generate marketing posting, new way of coding, faster way of testing, whatever we could have, or on a chatbot to answer questions, etc. So the first thing is making sure that internally AI is just become a business as usual, just to socialize, and it's among including me. So that's the first part of the project. The second part, luckily we have a very large customer like LGT when we do a worldwide transformation project, or Raiffeisen, Vontobel, BNP, and so on. And with most of them, we are starting sort of a brainstorming workshop about what AI could bring us, what could AI create, what is the new use case that we could offer to citizen or business on the wealth management side that we could not do before. And that's for us extremely important. We are not here to do some marketing story, just to say, hey, do you know we have a new storyteller based on AI? Yeah, but we already done that 10 years ago without, but something really new that bring a new value. So that's what we are looking for. We are looking for something special, not to make a buzz, but something really new that democratize even more. So we are not there yet. I'm just telling you what we do. We have several ideas, again, sharing by customer. What you have also seen in industry in the AI is too many use cases without any adoptions. Everybody wants to do a prototype or MVP just to market and LinkedIn, whatever. We are not like that. We want to do something, and we will announce when it's really valuable. So we have do those two steps. One, internally, making sure it's part of our daily life. Second, we are working with some of the big customers when we are brainstorming what could we do tomorrow to deliver value that doesn't exist today. So far, it's not ready yet, but we are working on. So that's the first trend. We are taking that very seriously, and obviously we are moving on. The second is exactly what I said at the beginning. We are moving from wealth management to managing wealth, regardless your earning. And we believe this consuming wealth at the origin of the needs is more and more important. And whatever you're earning, you need to manage your wealth properly. So one of our trend and what we can see is even non-financial wealth management is first thing is you think about private banking. That's the first thing you think. But now actually more and more retail or non-financial institutions are thinking to increase the stickiness to help people. As soon as there is a money exchange, actually with this money we exchange together goods against money, maybe we can also help to manage this money better. And we have several discussion with retailer, for example, who has nothing to do with banking or financials, but they want to start proposing some wealth management service, sort of the point of sale, or when people start exchanging and discussing about money. So here it's all about embedding the wealth at when you need it and where you need it. So that's today, it's a very big trend. having the non-financial institution thinking deeply about wealth. And if I phrase some of what of our people we are talking to are telling us is wealth management is the best way to increase the stickiness. Having yes, I am a retailer and I have a credit card or a bank account in whatever brand you know, it's not good enough. It's not loyal enough. What's bring the loyalty and the stickiness is as soon as you start managing and recommending how you could use better some of your saving you have, for example. So this is really democratizing the consumption of wealth service by non-wealth management specialists. This is a big trend. It's moving very high, and the demand is actually, it's very interesting. So that's the second trend. And the third one is definitively making, actually it's coming from the youngest generation getting more and more aware of everything you heard about the ESG, SDG. And if I just zoom on the SDG, the 17 United Nations goals, people more and more are asking, where are you investing my money? Where are I have a pension fund. Typically in the UK, we're working with several IFA to advise UK citizens on their pensions. More and more, I heard by discussing are asking, okay, I want to make sure that the money, my pension that you are currently investing are actually in a green economy, not the brown economy. So more and more, it's about bringing the smart, sort of a smart investment, more and more green, or making a real impact, not only ESG, but really SDG. I want to make sure that you have now scoring about possible investment, or you say, if you invest here, this investment, this kind of fund are targeting the following three United Nations goals. This one, and this one. But if you go to this one, is the following 4 United Nations goals, and it's making better and better. So this is a new trend. More and more financial organizations, including the UK, really wants to be able to propose to their customer recommendation with a very, by scoring recommendation by the positive impact it can bring to the planet, it can bring to the population, it can bring to the green economy. So that's really the third one. So to make it short, the first obviously is an AI impact, still work in progress. The second is democratizing wealth beyond financial institutions, beyond private banking, regardless how much you can earn. And the third one is recommending smart investment that can actually make a real positive impact. And compared to investment, this is really supporting by brown economy. This one is more green economy. This is the good impact you can make if you invest there. So that would be my 3 pick, basically.
So let's continue to look to the future, but bring it a little bit closer to home. Where do you see exigo in the next 5 to 10 years?
I got the same question not long ago. I really believe you don't need to be big, enormous to be happy and wealthy. You can be medium size and become indispensable for the business you are representing. And I think this is probably our destiny. We will never be our ambition is not to be and then big respect to this so-called big fintech like SAP we are not in this trend. We are focusing on for 24 years in the same business. And since I'm at the CEO positions, our mandate has always been, we are not going to go wider, cover more, even outside of wealth management, but deeper. We want to continue to be the best in this domain that we are managing since the creation of, since exigo was born in this wealth, and making sure that we can be consumed. Our destiny is to be consumed by third party. Fintech, core banking provider, we have now a signed contract with very large core banking provider that redesigning their wealth offering by white labeling some of our microservices. We want to be consumed by financial institutions that want to sell fund or financial product with a wealth package by consuming us as a vehicle to provide those funds. And of course, we want to be consumed by private banks. So the more we look at us is our main asset is our product. Our main asset is to be consumed and be relevant. Every time we think about wealth management, we want people to start thinking about exigo and being consumed. So again, is be relevant in that domain, being a more and more, be able to be consumed in a cost-effective way. We can keep what we were before when we were being famous, the sort of this Philippe Patek trend, but we can also deliver part of this, I would say, Formula One technology to something more humble and modest by just taking a pieces of this Formula One car, for example, but just to make it usable on your daily basis. So this is our trend, as I would say, more be recognized in that domain because we are competent, not because we are, I don't know, 10,000 employees. We'll never be 10,000. That's not our goal. That's not. So that's where we are. It's an exciting journey, and so far it's really going well. Last year was exceptional. So now we have to deliver all our promises, obviously, and continue on the same track.
CEO of Exigo, Arnaud Picot, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.